We're back with the final part. It's probably not going to be a complete hour, but the final part of this week's The Long Voyage. It's episode 23, was it?
That's right, yes.
Right, okay. And when we left, it was right as the hand of Frothy rose, holding the scrying bones that he keeps around, just before he was about to drop them on the ground. And as we rejoin the heroes, that is exactly what happens. He casts the bones, and you were looking for knowledge of what exactly?
When would be the best time to travel or set out, so we avoid Mr. Oni?
And the thing is that all of the bones more or less land in one great big pile. As in, you're all on top of each other anyway.
Is epic.
And just as you realize that, you can hear footsteps in the darkness.
I think we might want to get ready.
What? We already started?
Yes, sorry, we had to...
What happened?
Oh, he threw the bones and realized that there was no way to avoid the Oni, because basically the Oni was already there.
Yes, it is here and it is approaching us, because,
Well, that just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yes.
So
far be it,
you can
far be
hear...
it from-
Oh, sorry, please.
So far be it from the world to allow us to plod to drag our feet on this matter.
Nope.
We must rush to meet our fate.
Yes,
We try to be smart about it, and then the world goes, nope.
Well, no, it's more a case of...
Brody immediately cries out to the others, to Arching, that he should go get the others to protect Liling. We'll go deal with the Oni.
Yes. Well, you hear... It's not quite correct to say that it's footsteps. You hear hoofbeats. From two
That's
horses. Two horses.
Hmm.
It's not... They're not moving very swiftly. They're walking along, basically, towards you. But you can hear a third horse further away, which is coming closer, up behind the other two.
It's how dark is it beyond our camp?
Beyond the camp, it's pitch black.
Okay, so no chance of her. Okay.
Frody does a spell that people might not have seen before.
All right.
He enhances his senses, specifically to have, I suppose, night vision of a sort, like an
Yes.
animal would.
Yes, you can see better in the dark. Let's get a roll.
Shall I?
Ooh,
Wow.
Very nice. That's actually... that's critical. Which gives you perfect night vision.
Yes.
Nice.
His
Oh.
eyes just...
How
just-
tired does he get from that?
Not terribly, actually.
Now I spent one, is it fatigue point?
Yeah, or you could just use the skull.
You know what? The skull's right there, so I put my hand on the
Yes.
pouch I have it in, and then...
Yes.
Do my eyes, I don't know, glow like a cat's in the dark or something?
Actually, not even. Your eyes just go completely black. There's no pupil, no iris. It's just like tar covers your eyeballs.
Yeah, I imagine that's creepy to look at.
Very creepy to look at for the rest of you, but he seems to see perfectly. And you see, correct? You see two horses that are pretty close, with two women on them. You've seen them before. This is Yun and Nari. And Rasmus's facial expression just changed. He doesn't look like he likes me anymore.
I don't want to be outfoxed by them.
And behind them,
Outfoxed?
at the distance, you can see another horse arriving, which is carrying Ikeda Daichi, the man that they were, who was in their employ, so to say.
That's peculiar.
They don't
Being
look like
approached
Oni.
by Yun and Nari and their employee.
So not the Oni.
It could be a trick. Let's approach carefully.
Hmm. I hate tricksters. I'm too stupid to figure it out.
I know.
There is another sound. It's from the other direction.
Crap.
Oh,
So you look in that direction too?
of course.
There is a mountainous creature walking down the road. Calmly, but it's coming towards you. It is easily it's easily half again as tall as the tallest of you.
I think I see the Oni.
It's also at least 3 times as wide as any of you. It's bright red. And the tusks on its face are impressive, to say the least.
I hope these misty ladies know how to fight.
Why?
Because the Oni's over there.
Oh, we're surrounded? Oh, great.
Lovely.
Just perfect.
Yes.
And
Should we go greet the Oni then?
What about the others? The ladies? Shouldn't they be warned if they don't know it's there?
Yes, they should. I'm going to go greet the Oni in any case. Someone should hang back and warn them and then come to the rest of us.
you hear a voice booming from the direction of the Oni. That is the one calling out. Just as you finish talking. Yun! Nari! How interesting! Very nice of you to arrange for a late night snack where we are supposed to meet.
What
Oh.
curses?
They know each other. Great.
Do the women reply?
They stop their horses, and Yun raises her hand, sort of as in a greeting, and calls out, "Well, we did bring the horses for that purpose, my lord, but there seems to be something even tastier present." And there is a rumbling laughter from the other direction.
If I may interject, I'd suggest the horses. Less hassle.
Huh? The food speaks up. Interesting. Doesn't the food know to just be quiet and be eaten? The Oni
Well,
says.
I'm not accustomed to being food.
You should be honored in that case. To be eaten by an Oni is a great honor indeed.
Well, I was hoping we could arrange for us to not be eaten.
Why would you want to do that?
We have official business to attend, and being eaten would be incredibly inconvenient.
Right, but I'm hungry.
Well, the nice ladies just said that there are horses right over there.
The horses don't taste as good.
Ah. Well, perhaps then we can offer you something to compensate for the fact that you will have to settle for horse meat.
I'm not convinced. You are a strange creature. You look a bit like an Oni, but you are not an Oni.
That's true.
I think you would taste interesting.
I'm from a cold, harsh land. I'll be all sinew and sweat.
Ew. Sweat doesn't taste good. I can wash you first.
Believe me, I've tried. It doesn't work.
He steps closer to where you are, and at this point, Ah-Cheng has basically, managed to get Li Ling into the cart, and he is pale as a sheet of paper with fear when Let me just when this enormous horrific creature walks into the into the
I knew
campsite.
Yes, I thought I should have known from the moment the names Yun and Nari appeared. I should have known.
What?
Doesn't
No
matter.
spoilers.
No spoilers.
He walks up into the camp as if he owns the place, basically, and
Because why wouldn't he?
and looks at you and says, "Oh, there's even a female. I think that's female. It's got bumps
What?
in the right places." Yun,
Is he talking about
Ylva, yes.
Ylva? Female, yes.
Ah. Very well, Yun, Nari. I shall leave the males to you. You can pick one each, and I shall settle for whatever you leave over, because I'm such a nice lord.
Excuse me, my lord, but where we are from, it's rude to interrupt a deal as it's being struck.
But what deal is that? I hadn't
Well-
agreed to any deal.
Not yet, because we were in the middle of arranging it.
You are trying to
That's-
trick me.
No, I'm trying to offer you something in return for our, well, right to leave and go about our business.
Better be good
As-
then.
Well, as you've no doubt noticed, we are travelers from far away and have many interesting things from outside the Lotus Empire.
Right. Can't I even eat that one? He says and points towards Gylfi. Just while we're discussing, he's such a scrawny little thing, you can't miss him. Just while we're debating,
Oh no, he's our favorite.
Right.
He
Besides-
patches us up when we get hurt and all that.
Besides,
Oh.
all the herbs and poultices he carries will give you terrible indigestion.
Either indigestion or it'll spew from both ends for days.
Nari actually snickers at that. That's why we call him Red Thunder. You should listen to silence. And she just sinks into her. She just sinks down in her saddle.
You call him Red Thunder?
Yes, because and Yun says yes, we do, because his silence. I said.
You should try the mushrooms Gylfi found the other day. They will make it into red bladder everywhere.
Ylva,
What?
we're trying to talk to the Oni. We don't want to make him any angrier than he might already be.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
I,
sure
for one-
such a big and great lord has humor.
Of course I do.
Well, I for one think Red Thunder sounds mighty.
Of course it is.
Exactly.
Well, seems like a fitting name then. But, as I was saying, we have many interesting things from lands far away.
Now that sounds interesting. I'm not entirely disinclined to listen to your offer anymore.
Have you ever heard of Tear Glass, the land of endless green hills?
No. Is that not it's not a country yet conquered by the Empire, is it?
No, it still has a few swords duking it out.
So this is something that little fart on the throne doesn't know about yet. Ooh, that's interesting.
It's a land beyond the great sea.
Ugh, water. Bleh.
I happen to have a map of the place.
Might be interesting. How do I know it's real and not just something you've drawn?
Well,
He's not that good at drawing.
Well, that's true, I'm not good at drawing, and I'm sure a lord with as discerning an eye as yourself will be able to tell. I think
Well.
Thrody pulls out the map he has of Tear Glass.
Well, possibly. Let's see. He takes a look, and while you're doing that, both Yun and Nari get off their horses and walk amongst. They walk into the camp, and Nari walks by the men. She doesn't give a damn about Ilva, and she just completely ignores Leeling in the wagon. She walks by all the men and just looks at them. It's like, and when she gets to Sindri, she looks him up and down and says, "Ooh, this one is strong. I want his liver. Can I have his liver, please? I'm hungry.
I'm sorry, he already lost his liver. Yeah, he melted
Nari?
it.
And,
I need to roll a. What would I roll to avoid making a boastful and potentially suicidal comment?
I think that would be Will.
Oh dear. It suddenly looks. Was it you or Nari I'm speaking to?
That's Nari.
Wasn't that the one who wanted to marry the young lord?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yep.
He looks to Nari and says, you say that.
Of course
I've
I do.
hunted. Yes, I've hunted local foxes in my land more intimidating than you.
Oh, he is so funny, sister. Sister, if I take his liver, do you want his lungs or his heart? And Yoon just looks at Sindri and up and down. He gives him the elevator stare a couple of times, scoffs, and then looks at Gylfi instead and says, "No, I think I shall settle with this one's spleen, possibly his lungs. Yes, I think his lungs would be nice."
Brody, I thought you said those
Oh,
two
well,
were actually charming when you talked with them last time.
Well, they were.
They probably
Yes.
want I imagine. Well, I wouldn't say they are not charming now. Intimidating, slightly
Well-
threatening, but not entirely not charming.
No, as I said before, they are mostly rude for interrupting our dealings.
I mean,
But we are
you could-
hungry.
Well, yes, I would say that's a bit of a disrespectful to your lord. Like, if all.
You can see Red Thunder is basically standing there, his arms over his chest, fuming at these two insolent ladies.
Yes, interrupting your lord while he's speaking, while he's dealing with potential treasures that you are far beyond you to offer him.
Oh, sister! He's saying that I am not enough of a treasure. Nari goes and looks towards Yoon, and then they both there's a puff of smoke around both of them, and when they reappear, their human forms are gone. They're wearing really high quality leather armor, but they look basically like fox women with a number of tails.
Yeah.
And they Yoon just again she cants her head to the side and says, "We are not interrupting a deal. Our lord could get these things simply by eating you. Red Thunder, you don't need to deal with these pathetic beings. Just eat them and let us have the hearts and the livers. That's all we ask." And Red Thunder's like,
How
"Oh,
dare
right,
you,
she
dick."
does have a point. I could simply eat you and take your things."
How dare you dictate orders to your lord?
Right, that's a good point. How dare you?
I am certain your lordship has a well-developed sense of honor.
And plans beyond your
Honor.
puny
Not in the sense that
comprehension.
humans have honor, but
For human.
in a much nobler, oni sense of the word.
You do realize that you're insulting me, right?
Well, in that case, I apologize. We put great
He is
stock in
not
honor.
this. He is not this smart.
Honor
Um,
is a virtue. Ew. Disgusting. Revolting.
Look at it pragmatically, my lord. If you eat us and simply take our things, you will not hear the stories and conversations and chance to increase your own knowledge through our understandings that would come from them.
That's a good point, but then you could tell me the stories, and then I could eat you.
Then why would we tell you the stories?
Because it's an honor to be eaten by an Oni. Haven't you been listening, woman?
Are you insulting us now?
I thought you said that that honor was horrible, and therefore it being an honor to be eaten by an Oni is therefore an insult to us.
Nari just says, he does have a point, my lord. Silence!
Oh, this is interesting.
Very well. Very well. Show me what else you have. This map is interesting. These little spots are places, cities?
Yes.
I can't read the language. What does that say? He says and points to CharismaToAC.
Let me just check if Thrody can. No, I know he can't.
Emerald City or something like that.
Yes. Ooh. An Emerald City. That sounds very. That sounds very rich. That's interesting. Perhaps we should plan on plundering it.
That would be a good thing. Their pretty roofs are all green like emeralds.
But they're not actually
That's why
emeralds.
it's called CharismaToAC.
Oh, of course they are.
With some kind of weird kind of shingles that makes them all green.
It's a precious green metal, in fact.
Right, like copper when it gets old.
That
No.
might be it. I didn't actually look at them from above.
Well, it's still obviously, if it's a big city, it's still worth plundering. It's not quite as interesting as if it had all been made of emeralds, but...
Well, it's a merchant capital with a king on the throne.
Ooh, now we're getting interesting. Kings taste nice.
I imagine royal flesh does, yes.
He takes a deep breath and lets out a burp that underscores his name. And you all feel slightly nauseous from the stench.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, someone who has more tear glass swag, offer up something.
Sindri reaches into his haversack and says, "Indeed, great wealth resides there. In fact, I have examples here of such wealth that I myself gleaned from them." And he presents him a generous helping of his many gold Tirglaz coins.
Gold is always good. It's a bit common, but gold is good.
It is gold from another land. It has distinct markings upon it.
That's true.
Not find gold coins like this anywhere in the Lotus Lands.
It's true. I suppose, she says, and takes up a couple of large, gold coins. These are primitive but interesting. They should make nice jewelry for you two, he says, and points or nods towards you and Nari, and they both fawn over him because, oh, gold, please, yes, my lord.
And Sindri did roll a will for this earlier, and he's prepared to offer it up. He very discreetly reaches into his bag. He has his little box he had from his home. He retrieved his little amber inlaid box.
Yes.
He gets rid of the metal arrowheads inside, because again, no Southlander metal.
Mm-hmm.
But he presents the box to Red Thunder and says, "Here,
What
item
is
of
this? What is
an
this
ornate-
strange thing?" This,
Does it
he
bo-
says, and jabs a large claw, basically, well, it's a fingernail, but it's a
Yeah.
claw, really, towards the amber. What is that? I have never seen this before. Is this wondrous thing?
Hmm.
Is that a fly stuck in there?
No, indeed not. But you would be. But people have often commented that it appears so. This, my lord, is what is known as amber.
It
And
looks
Sindri-
like see-through gold. It is fascinating. I've never seen this kind of thing in my life. And I am old. I am very old.
Hmm.
It is unique to the land that we come from. even rare, even among our lands.
But
It's-
you do have it in your land. Maybe I should plunder that
Yes.
too.
Perhaps, but for now you have this unique trinket, and it has
This is
great
interesting.
and it has a great and bloody history tied to it. This amber and this box.
Ooh, now it's getting better, and at this point you have Yun slinking up next to you, you know, running her fingers up through your hair, up your neck. It's like, bloody history, you say? Tell us.
Hmm. This box was found in a city among many people, where peace was to be made between two great clans. But the clan from far away from this city, with hatred in their hearts, betrayed those of the city.
They sound clever.
Slaughtered all those within, men, women, children, elderly, and then burned that city to ashes.
I like these people already.
Yes. In this city, the house of my family, they slaughtered, their house burned. I retrieved it.
Ah,
the remains.
so you are a survivor of this. And you are out to get vengeance, am I right?
We had vengeance.
You have
The fools
vengeance.
We had some vengeance. The fools left some of their men hoping to ambush us in the ruins of our own homes, among the ghosts of our own families. And for this insolence, we slaughtered them like animals and left their carcasses hanging from the highest points for all to see and for carrion to peck at.
I like you more. I have an increasing lack of revulsion towards you. That is that is an adequate way of showing your hatred towards a foe. Still, the people who did this to you were obviously clever and would have made good allies for an Oni, but they were fools for not destroying all of you. Now,
No.
I have a deal to propose. You give me what you have already offered. You double the amount of coin. And I shall let all of you leave. All of you, even your little friends over there by the... Yes, the little lady inside the wagon and the liar outside. I shall let you bring all of your friends with you. When you finally find what remains of your enemies, however, and you burn them, you will place this in the bonfire, he says, and reaches up and snaps off one of his tusks.
Huh.
Place that in the bonfire, and they become mine.
I find that perfectly acceptable.
Yes.
They will not go to the powers. I will have them. They will increase my power.
Good. They don't deserve to go to the power.
I think we have an agreement then.
Yes.
Quick question though. Yun,
Yes?
what did Lord Sung say?
In what manner?
Well, we know he were about to address the city so they didn't tear down his pretty castle,
Yes.
but we never heard what he said.
No. I guess you had to be there to hear it. But the young fool actually gave people everything they wanted. Suddenly there wasn't much point for us to be there. Wasn't much rebellion to foment.
Oh.
Hmm.
He didn't
Well-
tell who killed his father.
Yes, he did. Said that the old lord had been killed by the sword of the dove, because the sword of the dove was displeased with the way his family had mismanaged the land for all this time, and that incidentally he had led the 3,000 young men of Kepa to their deaths and abandoned them, yada yada yada. And then, of course, he basically said, "But my father ordered me to do so, so it wasn't my fault." Ugh. And everybody cheered. It was disgusting.
That sounds good.
He seriously said he had no choice in the matter.
Well, he's a politician. What can you expect?
Rain.
Anyway,
Worm.
Nonetheless, I do intend to go back and feast on his intestines one day, but not when he is quite this observant. I'll wait a little while, maybe a year or 2 or 3 or 10, I don't care, one day or another. They're going to come in, his servants are going to come into his room and find him spread out all over his bed and the walls and the ceiling. It seems fair. Nari, in the meantime, has slinked up next to or right behind Frodi. She's got a hand on both of, on each of his shoulders, massaging lightly and saying, "Ooh, this one smells of magic. Are you sure I can't have just a little nibble, my lord?" Silence!
Right, we wouldn't want to disrespect your lord. We accept your deal.
Precisely. Nari just mopes.
I mean, she should be used to disappointment by now.
But she says, "But I'm hungry. I haven't eaten a proper meal in days."
You did bring the horses.
But the horses are so boring. And then...
They're filling though.
Okay, I guess.
Well, if you let them loose, you can always have a fun chase.
Oh, he does make a point, sister. Should we let the horses loose?
I can lend you some spices from overland.
Oh, now he's making it interesting. Maybe we should not eat this one. Maybe we shouldn't eat any of these. Maybe a good chase and then... Ooh, I see a village over there. And they're both gone. And Red Thunder just sags slightly where he's standing, and he just looks at you all. It's so difficult finding qualified help these days.
Such insolent subordinates.
Yes.
No respect for you, my lord.
But do understand, of course, my lord, their fleeting and fickle nature does not in any way mar your greatness.
I like you better already.
I aim to please.
What are they actually?
They are Kumiho. They are hunters by nature.
Oh,
Yes, all that talk of livers and hearts and...
Oh, they have their tastes.
Yes.
I'm
Takes-
not quite as particular about what parts of people I eat. As far as I'm concerned, it all tastes nice.
Yes, you're an equal opportunities consumer of flesh.
Indeed. You understand. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. It is so good to find a fellow connoisseur. Somebody who understands the finer points of eating.
Well, we are not all bad. Perhaps if you spoke to a few of us every once in a while, you might find interesting people who understand you.
I think part of the point is that you are very different than the locals here from the Empire. I mean, look at that scrawny creature, he says and gestures towards Ah Cheng.
Well, we did order him to stand back.
Him?
Yes.
He looks at you and says, "Well, you may be interesting and different, but there are some things." Him. Right. I think I shall be off with my, agreed upon tributes. Now remember, the thing. Remember the fang.
Indeed.
Our vengeance shall make them yours.
Indeed. It shall be glorious for all of us. He walks into the darkness and, yes, vanishes after a while.
I imagine he vanishes long before his laughter stops.
Yes,
And even Frodi cannot see him.
indeed.
No. Right, okay, map.
Yeah, I'm removing the map.
Map box. And Sindri had originally offered him up 500 of his gold coins, so he now has to offer him 1,000 of his gold coins.
Yes.
And Sindri is heartbroken because he's a miser. He's giving up, not only is he giving up his money, he's giving up his box.
Frodi hands him some.
Yeah, Gilfie will compensate like 500 of that gold.
All right.
Frodi hands him 250.
Oh, that's very kind of you both then. But yes. So,
So yes, the what's it called? You are left there with with a campsite with, at this point when Red Thunder leaves, Asheng just slides down next to the cart wheel and just sits on the ground, hyperventilating from terror.
yes. Okay.
Uva sighs, and then looks at the others, and then Southlander says, I can't help but think that the young Lord Sung dodged a bullet with that one.
Yeah, I think so too. He. Well, Dutch and arrow.
Yeah, Dutch and arrow. Yeah, but yeah, we get it.
The point is that I'm sure that
Bolt,
that
whatever.
that arrow is yet waiting for him another day, I fear. All right, and Sindri then tries to take charge of the situation. We've all been through a harrowing experience. We're all alive. We will have a chance to get away. I don't think any of us are going to be sleeping for the next few hours, so I humbly suggest that we move on from this space before they change their minds. I know it's getting dark, but if we
That
can
sounds reasonable. I might be able to scout some of the way, at least for a while, but he points to his eyes. I don't want to do it for too long, because I don't want my eyes to pop out of my head, or burn up, or whatever else happens.
push comes to shove, I think some of us have torches.
Yep.
Even if it's just a small way away from here, but just away from this space. We're not going to be
Yeah.
sleeping here tonight.
We should move.
I agree.
They did seem like they were easily distracted, but they can easily be distracted from what they're doing right now as well.
Yes. Yes. Gilfie, please, could you see to Archeng and make sure he's breathing normally? Give him something to calm him down a little. Ilva, please check on Li Ling, make sure she's all right.
Yeah, Ilva will go check on the Leeling.
Yes, well, Liling is sitting in her cart in the wagon, in the covered wagon that she normally travels in. She is calm and composed and desperately afraid.
Aww.
That's okay, Leeling. We'll
And-
get you out of here now.
When you enter, she's you can see the moment that the flaps of the wagon open, she fully expects it to be something nasty that's about to eat her, and she's about she wants to meet her end with some measure of dignity. And when it's you and you speak to her in a reassuring manner, she throws her arms around your neck and just holds on for dear life.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then she just hugs the girl back.
Yeah.
There is no way we would have let them eat you.
Gilfie goes to the Asheng,
Yes. And,
Like,
and you. Yes.
like kneels next to him, like on just takes a knee next to him, and is like, "You okay there?"
He's almost catatonic with fright. He's just seen something out of his worst nightmares.
Gilfie says, just sits next to him, pulls out his pipe, lights his pipe, and then pulls out one of the incense, those weird calming incenses that he has.
Yeah.
Sticks it kind of in between them,
Yes.
lights it up, and just starts like striking up a conversation with him
Yeah.
about.
And that the incense helps, and he's like slowly begins to relax and draw, breathe more normally instead of in short staccato jumps. So yeah, he gets. It's like, how many essences have you condemned with that deal?
They, well, none so far.
But the people that you're going to get vengeance on, the ones who destroyed your home, how many are they?
But a few. And I would say, and that's mighty strong if we ever get to see them again. We are in a faraway land.
I think there's a good chance you might.
We'll worry about it then.
Okay.
He kind of helps him get up, and like Gilfy just looks around.
He
Looks
covers his face, and you can see his shoulders are shaking. He's in a horrible state.
Yeah. Gilfy just helps him get up.
Yeah.
And then just gives him a hug.
Yep.
And then looks around the camp, like probably people are like pulling camp together, pulling camp up, and it's like, you know what? You can help me with something.
Just a moment. Send you a message.
Dun dun dun.
Ba ba ba.
Okay. Yeah, Gilfy's like, Gilfy just keeps.
Yeah.
They keep just slowly once it's Acheng stops whatever shaking.
Yeah.
Calms down a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what? You can help me with something.
Yes, of course.
He let's go to this idea. They are pulling camp anyway. We'll probably marching for the next couple of hours, so you can help me with something.
Yes. What can I do?
You can help me because I took a pretty nasty arrow in the back in the palace. You can help me.
Grief, yes, I'll help.
You can help me change the dressing.
Of course.
Gilfy just takes off his shirt. And he's instructs Acheng.
Yeah, and he helps and does what you tell him, and he's never, he's not a medic. He's never bound an arrow wound before, but with your explanation, it goes fine. So.
Yeah. And Gilfy just gestures to I don't know if I PM you this. Is that better?
That might be a good idea, yeah.
Okay. What was the PM again?
//
W
space GM.
Yes.
So I have to try and remember that each time as well.
Yes, I imagine it's easier for me because I always use text commands.
Yes. So easy. You just automate everything in your life.
I wouldn't call it automated. I type it in every time.
I suppose.
But yeah, I do like typing it in. And I find it easier.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and after Gilfy does that, what I wrote, like, and finishes the dressing, then
Yeah.
they'll
Secrets.
then they will, you know, I'll like ask Acheng to come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. And so you guys basically you set off, marching off into the night, and proceeding on your way towards the last few the last leg of the journey before you can hand over Li Ling to her future husband.
Yes.
Something like that.
We should make sure to check that he's not some sort of frog man. Considering what we've met.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Turns out to be a kappa. It's a problem. Anyway, that I think is it for this week. It's a good place to stop with you guys
Yes.
walking off into the darkness there. And
Yes, and
sorry. please.
It's ending on a very somber and somewhat shaky note there, considering what has just happened.
Yes, indeed.
And an infuriated Ulva.
Yes.
I don't like it if I can't hit it.
Nope. You walk off into the night, and you get 3 XP, and we shall be back next week for more The Long Voyage. And everybody, hope we'll see you there. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog if your dog is interested in role playing.
Or your cat.
Or your cat,
Thank you,
because you know that sort of thing. In
I
any
have
case,
told my cats, and they sometimes watch the screen while I play.
well, there you go. We have more viewers. In any case, guys, from us here at CharismaToAC, until next time, bye.
Bye, guys.
Boy.